Welcome to the 60th birthday party. In case you don't remember me, I'm Roger. I used to look like this. Hahira was a great little place to grow up. Neat little town. Had some neat things to do. Some of you may remember this old movie theater. And you may remember this guy. Sometimes it was kind of like a episode of this show. But a lot has changed now. It's a bustling little community. But it was a great place to grow up in the 60s. So I think before we start, we should have a little toast for the 60th birthday party. And here it is. Here's to the 1965 Hahira class, who graduated with a little pomp and a lot of sass. When we departed, we said, we're now on the scene, and the whole world can kiss our
sunshine, goodbye rain. She's wearing my school ring on her chain. She's my steady, I'm her man. I'm gonna love her all I can. Baby, won't you be mine? Baby, won't you be mine? Gonna cruise her around the town, show everybody what I found. Rock and roll with all my friends, hoping the music never ends. Baby, won't you be mine? Baby, please be mine. Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. Saturday, what a day. Rockin' on me for you. Baby, won't you be mine? Baby, please be mine. Goodbye, gray sky, hello blue. There's nothing can hold me when I hold you. It feels so right, can't be wrong. Rockin' and rollin' all week long. Baby, won't you be mine? Baby, sunshine, goodbye rain. She's wearing my school ring on her chain. She's my steady, I'm her man. I'm gonna love her all I can. Baby, won't you be mine? Baby, please be mine. Gonna cruise her around the town, show everybody what I found. Rock and roll with all my friends, hoping the music never ends. Baby, won't you be mine? Baby, please be mine. Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. Saturday, what a day. Rockin' on me for you. Baby, won't you be mine? Baby, please be mine. Goodbye, gray sky, hello blue. There's nothing can hold me when I hold you. wearing my school ring on her chain. She's my steady, I'm her man. I'm gonna love her all I can.
James and I actually go back to the 5th grade in school. That was the year that I moved from the Valdosta City schools out to Pine Grove, which was our predecessor school to when we went through junior high school and then moved to Hayhire in our 9th grade. And so James was always a very personable guy. He was one of the first guys I met there, and James and I became instant buddies. And gosh, when the rest of us were talking about playing marbles and playing baseball, James was already talking about girls in the 5th grade. So he taught me a lot about what to do and what not to do when it comes to relationship.
Well, I guess the last memory I have of James is a couple of our class reunions ago, and Gordon and I came down to Hayhire by ourselves. We got in early and we decided that we were going to go out there to Bemis to the church and take a look at James' grave. And neither one of us had been out there. And of course, I lived next door to that church for 5 years, and so I kind of wanted to go back and take a look. And I just remember Gordon and I standing there looking at James' grave and thinking it was just a sad day.
You know, he was real fond of Diane Stalvey at one time, real fond of him. And so one day in the hall, he saw me talking to her during, when we was changing class, he saw me talking to her. He really got mad. Boy, he got fired up and come told me that he was going to whip my butt that afternoon as soon as school was over with, or either when we got to the house. So I thought about this thing all day long, because what Diane was asking me, James' birthday was coming up, and she had asked me what did he like for his birthday or some little something like that there. And then she told me that I couldn't tell him. So when he come ask me what we were talking about, I couldn't tell him, because I done promised her that I wouldn't tell him. So, man, I was in a mess. I knew that it was going to be hell to pay that afternoon whenever the bell rang for that 3:30 catch the bus time. So I thought about it and sweated about it. And then the afternoon we got on the bus and was heading home. And he said, "What was y'all talking about?" I said, "Well, I can't tell you." He said, "Oh, well, you was over asking her out, wasn't you?" I said, "No, man, I don't know. What are you talking about?" He said, "Well, you know, I told you what I was going to do." I said, "Yeah, I know." So we thought about it, and the record, he said, "You know, we've been friends since the 1st grade, and there's no sense of me getting mad just because you're talking to my girlfriend." I said, "Man, don't know how relieved I am, because I was afraid that he was going to tear me up that afternoon."
He had the James Dean look about him, and also the same attitude.
He married a girl in Pennsylvania, and they moved to Pennsylvania out to her folks, and he was gone about a year or 2 years, I don't know how long it was. And one day I got a call, and he said, "Can you come pick me up at the airport?" I said, "Man, airport?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "All right, you at the airport?" He said, "Yeah, come get me." So I went out there and picked him up. I said, "Where's your wife?" He said, "Well, I told her I was going to get a pack of cigarettes, and I ain't never going back."
But he was a loyal friend, and it was a good friend, and it was somebody that you could really relate to.